resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
How are you, buckaroo?
Well, by the time that this goes across the airwaves, we will be wore out from Pensacon all weekend.
That is correct.
Yes, but I know we've had a fantastic time.
We did? We already talked to ourselves?
Right.
Oh.
All right, you want to lay out the show?
Sure. Top nerd news.
Yes.
Followed by some guy we don't like.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
Oh, that's it, right?
Yes, and then our guest is...
some guy we do like.
Yes, Scott Durbin. He is the founder of the Imagination Movers, which is a kids band. But, really cool guy. I was really happy to talk to him. And then, of course, we'll close out the show with This Week in Geek History.
I still have the hat from the show they did when I brought DJ to him.
Oh, that's cool.
They even sold little goggles, too. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Somehow I still have those things lying around my house.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm a bad housekeeper or just too cheap to throw it away.
Oh, jeez.
But first... And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, Brian, what's topping us off tonight?
I want to start off with a rant.
Yay?
Well, most of the time, you're the one who's all angry and argumentative.
Yeah, come on, Brian!
All right, so this March 27th sees, and this is quite the milestone, sees the release of Detective Comics issue 1000.
Wow.
Right, and of course that features Batman. And, hey, that's great. It's going to be a 96-page issue. It's going to have all kind of crazy stuff. And
96 pages, of 6 of which will be comics, the other 90 advertising, right?
No,
okay.
It's not that bad. It's
all right.
Actually, there's all kind of special guest artists that they're bringing in, and I think all of that stuff is awesome, right?
Okay.
And it's 80 years. It took them 80 years to get to 1,000 issues, so
Wow.
That's impressive. What is aggravating me is that I reached out to Tim Stoddard from over at Showcase Comics and Collectibles, and I said, I cannot answer this question. How many variant covers are being produced for this issue? And he said that at his count, there's at least 20 issues, 20 variants being produced.
Okay.
Plus shop variants. That means individual comic shops can contact the manufacturer and produce their own variant.
Wow.
All right. Variants are what almost destroyed comics in the 90s, Dave. This is ridiculous.
Okay.
You
lost me.
What do you... In the 90s, Marvel and DC almost destroyed the comics industry because they would print a book and then they would print like 6 extra copies of the same exact book that all had different covers, and they're like, these are all collector's items, and you have to get all of them. And so people sunk all of this money into it in this sort of speculative market, and everything friggin' tanked. That's when there were like 50 comic book shops in this city. Right, I mean, you remember Frank's Baseball Cards and Comics, and Nan's and Our Family, and all all that stuff was everywhere, and then they all went poof because they couldn't. They were getting so many backlogs of comics, they couldn't sell them all. It was just pulp hanging around, and this is like, I get it. It's a milestone. Put out 5 special covers. 20? I mean, come on.
Everybody wants to feel special, Brian. I mean, and it's 20 plus. However many shop owners want that special variant cover.
Right, exactly. And here's a perfect example of a variant that works.
Okay.
All right. Next month, Tim Stoddard has a variant cover coming out for a Transformers magazine that's coming out. So Robbie Musso, who friend of the show, he's been on before. He contacted him. Hey, would you do a cover for me? And he says, yeah, I'll do it. So he contacts the manufacturer. They set it up. That's something special. That's nice. Something that he can offer. That's cool, right?
Okay.
But 20 plus variants.
Nobody's saying you got to get all 20. You're acting like I must go across America, stop at every Joe's comic book shop to pick up the new variant. Thus, at the end of the day, I'll have 350.
You and I know very well the community that we live in. There are the collector addicts who must have everything.
Well, they're dumbasses. Well, let them go piss their money away. Why are you shouting at the clouds? I mean, if they want to do that, let them do it. I mean, you said it best, a speculative market. If they want to get this 1,000, look, why don't you do some research, because that's your favorite pastime. Find out which artist is most likely to die soon, buy the crap out of that one, and then be Dead Man Comics going for $5. $5, $1, $2, $2, $3. Yeah, come on. Do some research. You love doing that.
I'm telling you, variants almost destroyed the industry in the 90s.
Okay, so you think 1,000 episode is gonna ruin the market?
No, but it's ridiculous. It makes me angry.
It does. The silliest things make you angry.
Well, you make me angry every day, Dave.
Well, exactly.
All right.
What's next, Mr. Soapbox?
Oh, jeez. How about Chris Hemsworth is going to play Hulk Hogan in an upcoming biopic?
You know,
we know each other. He's a friend from work.
Right.
Listen, brother. You got to ask Skungy this, because Skungy is the Hulkamaniac.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed Hulk Hogan when I was a little kid coming up. I mean, that's when I enjoyed wrestling.
I guess, but I mean, like, Chris Hemsworth he's all beefy and stuff, but he's not Hulk Hogan beefy. It's just not like he's got barrels for arms like Hulk Hogan does. I mean, Hulk Hogan's an old, wizened, crusty dude now. Right. But I mean, back in the day, I mean, I don't know what I think about this. Is Chris Hemsworth going to play the dumb guy from Ghostbusters, the girl reboot?
No.
I mean, come on. It is Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, no, but I don't think Hulk Hogan was the same as that dumb character, right? And he would definitely have to put on some weight. I think, Hulk Hogan gives me the vision of a gladiatorial physique, right?
And Chris Hemsworth is like, a cologne commercial.
Right, he's all super cut. Yeah, well, maybe he's got to eat some of the gruel like the gladiators ate, and then he can put that extra, body fat on and
girth.
Right, exactly.
Some girth, is that what you're trying to say?
Right, but this is going to focus on his rising star in the early parts of his career as he was coming up and becoming the face of the WWF at the time.
Here's the question. I mean, how good of an actor is he?
Who, Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
I think he's a pretty decent actor. I mean,
he's always done some funny stuff. I would think, if it's a biopic, they might have some humorous moments at it to have some levity. But I don't know. This has disaster written all over it. It just has disaster written all over it.
I think it may be interesting. I mean, I enjoyed, what was that? The wrestling show that came on Netflix not long ago with all ladies.
Glow?
Was it
the
Glow?
Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling?
Well, I don't think it was called Glow, but it could have been. Regardless, I thought that was cool. I mean, looking at it from that lens and telling a story about it, I kind of enjoy it. I think this will be cool. Like I said, I liked it as a kid. I think it'll be interesting.
Okay.
All right.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
What's next?
Next story. I think this might make you angry.
Nothing makes me angry.
Oh, jeez. All right.
I'm a calm pool of water.
Yes. How about the Lost Boys? CW pilot sets their principal cast. Twilight's Catherine Hardwicke will direct. So they're doing a Lost Boys series now, right? And they've started some of their casting process.
And it's on the CW?
Yes.
I'm fine with it.
And it looks like they're changing the gender of the Frog Brothers.
Whatever.
Okay, you're cool with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Look, the CW has it's got a proven track record of doing good stuff. I mean, they made Jughead popular. I mean, that's Riverdale. It's Archie Jughead Comics, whatever the hell it is. I mean, they got Betty and Veronica. They made it somehow hip and cool. Look, the CW, I'm not going to say they can do no wrong, but you know what? They can take this kind of dark material and sex it up and sell the hell out of it because they've proven they can do that. If it would be somebody like, say, NBC or Fox or something, I'd be like, oh, it's going to be a train wreck because you're going to have all these just too many hands in the pot, too many cooks in the kitchen. With the CW, it's like, here's a budget, go away, bring us something popular. And they always seem to do that.
And no issue with them essentially rebooting this for a newer audience as a series?
It's a TV series, though. It's not like they're rebooting the movie. You know, I mean, there is the possibility of intrigue in there where maybe they convince some of the old Lost Boys to not reprise their roles, but make like a cameo or something like that, or even make them like the ancient wizened vampire. Who knows? I mean, there's room for stuff in there, but I mean, I'm not offended that they want to turn it into a TV series. You know, I don't really consider that a reboot. It's just like here's something else.
Okay.
Now, if they reboot the Lost Boys, yeah, then I'll get pissed. I mean, that would be a travesty.
As if they rebooted it as a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I would. Oh, no way. I'd pull a Jay and Silent Bob and like, come on, Brian, get in the car.
Yeah.
We got places to go.
Got to shut this down.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just like the stupid ass RoboCop reboot. But have you heard about the new Colonel Sanders?
No.
I'm here.
Howdy, folks. Try my $20 fill-up. You have 10 seconds to comply.
Shh.
You now have 5 seconds to comply. 4, 3, 2. Try any $20 fill-up at KFC.
You're welcome, KFC.
Wow.
The RoboCop is now the new Colonel Sanders right now.
You know, I saw that come through. Like I didn't watch the deal. I just saw a picture of him. I'm like, why does RoboCop have this bib on? You know, I just kept scrolling. So
yeah, I saw it. I was just like, and the funny part is like they used that one, but RoboCop never said that.
Right, you're right.
So whatever, that's fine. But it tickled me.
Okay, that's fair. You know, we don't talk a whole lot of tech here, but I think this is worthy of discussion for a minute. Samsung is coming out on April 26th with a foldable phone.
The hell? Like a flip phone? We've already had those. Why are we regressing?
No. You don't understand. It's like a smartphone, okay? So when you're looking at it and you see the screen,
right.
But then it opens up and it has a screen on the inside that folds and like doubles the size of the screen. It's almost like a little miniature tablet.
So you're gonna get it, but you got a crease in it.
So the documentation says that you can fold it up to 200,000 times, which averages about 5 years of use before it finally gives up the ghost.
Yeah, horse crap. I call bull squat.
But it's the screen resolution is going to be
crappy.
1,536 by 2,152 pixels. Megapixels, and that's huge for what it is. 420 DPI density and all that stuff. There's going to be 6 cameras in it, Dave.
What?
Don Cooper's going to freak out.
What do you need 6 cameras for?
So when it's folded up,
so I'm not going to buy I'm not going to buy security anymore. I'm just going to put up like 6 of these cameras around here because that'll be 24 cameras.
Right. So
36, whatever.
When it's in its folded mode, it's got 2 cameras for like selfie mode, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you open it as a tablet, it's got 1, and then on the back it has 3. You know, with
a panoramic view.
It's got a telephoto lens.
So how quickly does this get converted to porn? I mean, you know.
Well, that's what the internet's made of, Dave. That and cats.
Right. And fold. Now you can fold up your porn in your pocket.
There you go. So, I mean,
this is a stupid idea.
What do you mean?
This is a stupid idea.
Well, okay. Now here's the part that's not going to sell you, right?
Okay.
Like you don't already sound sold, but
no.
The price tag is $1,980.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yeah. So that's going to be kind of tough, but it sounds nifty, man. There's a lot of cool stuff in it. You know, cool processor and. The battery is split between both sides to distribute weight evenly.
My God. Anyway, you got to charge each side separately?
No, it's going to pass through. It's fine.
Okay.
You know, it's wireless charging and all that good stuff. And yeah. No, not sold on it?
Nope.
All right. How about a little discussion of love, Dave?
Oh, I love love.
Yeah, do you?
Love. No, the board game stuff?
Yeah, so apparently couples who play board games together release love hormones, according to a study from Baylor. So...
Are they not real couples anywhere near Baylor? I mean, I'm pretty sure the hormones secreted are not love.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's like, I'm going to stab you in the friggin' eye with whatever blunt object comes to my hand first. Here's a miniature to the eye. Get it, take it. No, nope.
So you can't play games with your significant other, Dave?
Hell no.
No?
No.
It's, apparently this study is...
Let the Wookiee win.
Is that the hormone levels of couples who play board games or went to a couples art class, increased.
How do they go from board games to art class?
Well, I mean, the activity is somewhat similar,
How?
Because it engaging the creative processes of your mind, Dave.
No.
What about painting miniatures together? It's sort of, just maybe.
I don't know. That's the whole reason you paint miniatures so you don't have to talk to your significant other. It's like, I'm going in the room to paint. Don't bother me.
Oh, come on, Dave.
I told you not to bother me in my room. Sorry.
I mean, that's something that you and your SO can do together and release some of those love hormones, Dave. And
now you just made it weird. All right, let's go to break. Oh, my God.
All right, hold on real quick before we go. Apparently reports are that the Lord of the Rings writers are locked in a guarded room at Amazon Studios. Do we need to go and break them out?
They can't get out?
No,
they're all pushing on the pull door?
There's guards. There's like fingerprint sensors and stuff. And, they're in this windowless room so that nobody can get to the scripts. Do we need to go save them, Dave?
Yes, let's go.
All right.
To the Geekmobile.
Fantastic. Raise the flag of Nerlandia as we charge to rescue these beleaguered writers. Awesome. Yes. All right, guys. When we get back, we're going to have our boy Skungy in his pick of the week. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find a Spider-Man.
Boldly going where no bar has gone before. The Bad Wolf is a bar, restaurant, and game shop all in one. You can't beat our specialty drinks, fresh food, and a variety of RPGs, board games, and miniature games for sale or rent. Stop by and hang out, or attend one of our regularly scheduled events, all in a non-smoking environment. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill is located at 2010 O'Connor Street in Gretna, or find us at badwolfbar.com. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill, where everybody knows your game.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Mata Hari, Agent H21, is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
Pro Se Productions is a leading independent publisher on the cutting edge of new pulp and genre fiction today. At Pro Se Productions, you'll find fiction featuring fast-paced action and adventure, larger-than-life protagonists, over-the-top characters, and tight yet extravagant plots. Pro Se specializes in prose books, anthologies, audiobooks, and more. Go to prose-press.com to find our monthly release schedule and more info about our great titles. Pro Se Productions is your first-rate publisher of new pulp fiction today.
Hey, this is Jason Douglas. Actually, this is Beerus the Destroyer, and you're listening to The Weekend Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Welcome back into The Weekend Geek. I'm your co-host, Brian Held, and Dave had to step out of the studio, so without much further ado...
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Woohoo!
Skungy, what's shaking, bacon?
Not a whole lot, sir. How are you doing on this fine Sunday?
Oh, it's good, man. So what are we reviewing today?
We're reviewing a game called Metro Exodus.
Okay.
All right, so this is part of the Metro series. It was originally a series of books that came out in 2000, that started coming out in 2005 by a gentleman named, I am going to butcher this, I'm letting you know this, Dmitry Glaskorsky.
All right, fair enough.
So the whole series is about, there was a nuclear holocaust in 2013, and everybody in Russia, the survivors, live in the metro system of Russia. So in all the trains and the tunnels and everything.
Okay.
So you follow through this one character, and you're going through all these, they have factions that rise up. There's like a Fourth Reich that rises up in one of them. This is, Exodus is technically the third game in this series.
Okay.
So
I'm envisioning this sort of future dystopian dungeon crawler.
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the thing is, it's more of a survival horror, believe it or not, because of all the radiation. They have mutants and whatnot. So
cool.
In the series is known for going through these tunnels and, trying to, get supplies or, complete missions, but it's very creepy, crawling through dungeons and whatnot, as you would say, but it's more of like tubes that they're going through, like the London tubes or whatnot.
All right. And I'm guessing you have limited resources at all that?
Absolutely. This particular one, Exodus, changes it up a little bit. And the good thing about it is that you don't really need to have played the other ones to play this one. They do a little bit of a recap at the beginning of the game to let you know kind of what happened in the past.
Okay.
They call this one Exodus because it's actually the first time that you're going out of the tunnels. You're going to be on a train going across the country and going to these open world areas. So you're going to be outside on the surface, going to different, locations. Sometimes there's like a desert or snow plains or whatnot, but they have these really cool open world where you can go explore and everything like that. But it does still keep you in the claustrophobic areas, and that's where this game shines. I'm going to use a word here to describe the entire game, and that is atmosphere.
Okay.
I was going through some of these tunnels, and it's tense. It's creepy. I mean, my heart was racing while I'm going through because the sound engineering, the audio in these things are so mind-numbing. You're just on pins and needles because you hear something, you're like, what the hell was that? Where is it coming from? And is it going to eat my face?
And I'm sure it's got the surround sound effect too, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. And the visuals are really, really stunning. I mean, you've got and I'm not a fan of spiders. Anybody who knows me is not a fan of. I'm not a fan of spiders. Like, they have little spiders that will crawl on you. Like, you walk into a web and it'll crawl on your faceplate.
Oh, geez.
It's really, really, really creepy. The AI in this game is really interesting. So when you're playing against humans, they will use tactics against you. They don't use patterns like they do in a lot of games where, all right, this guard's going to go over here, and then he's going to turn left, and then he's going to go that way, and then he's going to come back. It doesn't use that. So when they're looking for you, they use actual tactics. They will try to flank you.
Oh, wow.
And that is really, really cool. And the monsters also have unique strategy for every single monster, like the mutants that you're going to fight. Each one, you need to take a different different tactic against, which is great in a game like this because it keeps the combat fresh. You're not always doing the same thing over and over again. And like you said earlier, limited resources, depending on what difficulty you play it on.
Yeah.
You're going to have limited ammo. You're going to have limited health. You know, there are constant things you have to look at with this game. You have to look at your filter, like, because the air is bad. So if your filter goes out, you're going to start, dying.
Oh, wow.
Your mask, the faceplate, this is one of the coolest things I've seen in a game. Like, if you get shot or anything, your faceplate can crack because you have this gas mask on. And if it does, you have to patch it or you're going to die. You're going to suffocate.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So, now, I'm just getting this vision here. Now, we're talking single-person, first-person shooter type deal?
Yes, single-player, first-person shooter, no multiplayer involved.
Okay, all right.
It's completely story-driven, and it's got a really good story. And when you're on this train, which you find in the very beginning of the game, you get on this train, you're going across the country. In between your missions, you're talking to the people on the train, and that's where your main story comes from, getting to know these characters and their stories, and you want to try to figure out, like, what happens and just get involved. You really do get involved with these characters. They're very, very well written.
Okay.
The bond between them is just, it works really, really well. The game plays about 20 hours.
All right.
So it's not too long. And that's good. I mean, because sometimes with games like this, if they go too long, you're just going to completely lose, you lose interest.
Yeah.
After some of these games. You're just like, all right, I'm done. I've done it all again. I really enjoy it, though. This is, I mean, if you get a chance, like I said, this is the third in the series. The first one was called Metro 2033, and the second one was Metro Last Light.
Okay.
And both of those got a redo.
Okay.
So they were originally on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, but they've been recently redone on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, remastered, updated graphics and everything, dirt cheap.
So, real quick, what are the pricing platforms on this one?
This is going to be on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and it's $59.99. No collector's edition or anything like that.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to ask the question. Does it soothe the bomb that we need because we missed out on Fallout 76 and we missed out on the dystopian world?
Man, why you have to bring up that? That's a 4-letter word in this platoon.
It is.
No, it really, it's different than Fallout because it doesn't have that social, what's the word I'm looking for? When your decision making, you're moralistic, good or bad. It doesn't have that, which is the core of Fallout, which is what sucked about Fallout 76 because they took out the best part, the interaction.
Yes.
This will help a little bit. It's far more action orientated than Fallout is.
Okay.
But I mean, I really have enjoyed this. Like I said, atmosphere.
Cool.
It's a great atmospheric shooter.
All right, and I'm going to have to cut you off, Skungy. Next week, you're going to bring us some more Overwatch news?
We're going to bring you some more Overwatch news, absolutely.
All right, yeah, we're just in week 2 of the second season. So, all right, cool. Well, guess what, Skungy?
Am I fired?
Yes.
Is this The Apprentice? I'm on the wrong show.
All right. Guys, stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to have our interview with Scott Durbin. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Boldly going where no bar has gone before. The Bad Wolf is a bar, restaurant, and game shop all in one. You can't beat our specialty drinks, fresh food, and a variety of RPGs, board games, and miniature games for sale or rent. Stop by and hang out or attend one of our regularly scheduled events, all in a non-smoking environment. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill is located at 2010 O'Connor Street in Gretna, or find us at badwolfbar.com. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill, where everybody knows your game.
This March 8th through the 10th, CoastCon marks its 42nd annual science fiction, fantasy, and gaming convention in Mississippi's Gulf Coast Coliseum in Biloxi. CoastCon is the longest running and largest convention in Mississippi. Enjoy 3 days of gaming, costumes, shopping, and guest panels with such amazing guests like J. Michael Tatum from My Hero Academia and New York Times bestselling author Stephen Brust of the Vlad Taltosh series. For more information, go to coastcon.org or check out their Facebook page. CoastCon, March 8th through 10th. Don't miss it.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Pro Se Productions is a leading independent publisher on the cutting edge of new pulp and genre fiction today. At Pro Se Productions, you'll find fiction featuring fast-paced action and adventure, larger-than-life protagonists, over-the-top characters, and tight yet extravagant plots. Pro Se specializes in prose books, anthologies, audiobooks, and more. Go to prose-press.com to find our monthly release schedule and more info about our great titles. Pro Se Productions is your first-rate publisher of new pulp fiction today.
Hey, you Ninja Turtle fans, this is Raphael. That's right, the OG Raphael. And the only show we listen to here in the sewer while eating our favorite pizza is The Week in Geek on WRNO Radio. Turtle Power!
This is Brian Held with the Week in Geek radio show on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. And I'm joined by Emmy Award-winning performer and educator, Mr. Scott Durbin. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so glad to be on the Week in Geek radio show. You know, I grew up in New Orleans, so WRNO holds a special place in my heart. Oh. And the fact that you guys invited me to do the show, I'm stoked, man.
Oh, no, man. It's our pleasure to have you on, and thanks so much. So, of course, you are the founder of the Imagination Movers. It's a kid-focused band and music show, and out of the gate, one of our young fans, who's also a fan of yours, Mr. Daniel Marchiafava, would like to know, where did you come up with the idea for the Imagination Movers?
You know, early on in my career, I was a teacher. It seemed that every year that I was teaching, you know, this is way back, I'm an older man now, but I was noticing that there was a lack of creativity in the students that I was teaching. So, you know, they would write creative stories, and really they were regurgitated SpongeBob episodes. And so, you know, it was something that sort of kind of, you know, stuck in my craw a little bit. It was bothered me that, you know, kids they would take, like, you know, to kind of use the comparison, they would pick up a stick, and that's all it was. It wasn't a stick. And instead of like thinking, oh, this can be a baton and I can be a conductor, or I can pretend it's a flute, you know, those kinds of things I was really wanting my kids to kind of demonstrate. And so, you know, around this time, all of the movers started having children, having families. And when you have a son or a daughter, you're born into this world of children's programming, media. And so you're evaluating movies and television. And one of the things that I noticed is there wasn't any real people in children's programming. You know, the days of Captain Kangaroo and Fred Rogers, and even in New Orleans, Popeye and Pals had I wasn't seeing that. So, you know, the idea of not seeing creativity in the kids that I was teaching kind of led me to rally the movers in this kind of idea of us being blue collar brainstormers. And really, when the early idea evolved, we were sort of like the physical manifestation of the creative process of a kid. And so, you know, if you watch the TV show now, really the idea warehouse was sort of a metaphor for a child's brain. That's why you had so many different rooms and you could do anything you wanted. So that's sort of how it started. It was really just kind of seeing a need, being born into that world of children's programming and evaluating it and saying, you know what? There's a need. Why don't we fill the need? And that's how it started.
No, that's fantastic. Now, one of the things that I absolutely have to ask is, you know, I look at the four of you guys who make up the Imagination Movers, and you mentioned it a minute ago, you know, blue-collar performers. One of you is an architect, you're an educator, and so in all the research that I've done on you guys, where's the music come in? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we were definitely the people of your neighborhood. You know, myself being an educator, Dave an architect, Rich was a journalist, and Smitty is a firefighter. So what happened is Rich has always dabbled in music. He played in bands in college. I played in bands in high school and college. And Smitty played in a little band that I had called the Friendly Guys, and we would play at the Penny Post back in the day. And then I got into a band called Clones at Play. With Ben Mumphrey, who actually now runs Studio in the Country. And we had a really good cult following for our band. So I've been around music. I've been playing music probably in high school and college. The same with Rich. And then it sort of just kind of went away when life sort of takes over. So when we would get together for birthday parties, people would pull out guitars and we'd start singing and, making up songs, silly songs. And I think one of our first songs we premiered at Rich's daughter's birthday party, And ironically, the whole idea started at my son's birthday party. So birthday parties were a very important part of our communicating, ideas and evolving.
No, okay, that's cool. Yeah, so now, but before the kids came along, what was the music focus? What were y'all kind of playing back then?
Well, the Movers didn't exist prior to. So, I played in a band called Clones at Play, which was sort of like very funk-oriented, Parliament, Red Hot Chili Peppers-esque. And then Rich played in a band called Doubly, which was really kind of power pop. Smitty's always been into reggae and kind of the Police and some two-tone music like the Specials. Dave has always been a fan of like piano-based music like Elton John and Ben Folds, things like that. So it's funny because we take all these sort of diverse musical influences, and then when the Movers started, we just basically channeled them all in there. And so when you do listen to the Imagination Movers, you're definitely hearing the music we would do for anybody. But of course, the lyrics are more age and developmentally appropriate for our demo.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, what a wide range to pull from. And I mean, I'm sure the ideas for you guys are endless, right?
Oh yeah. It's funny because our first 3 independent albums, the subject matter just paralleled kind of where our children were as far as, developmentally, so like the first album had a song about sleeping all through the night. And the third independent album had riding my bike. Our subject matter definitely mirrored where our kids were and what the issues they were dealing with, and then what we were dealing with as parents. It's funny because, a lot of people will come to us and say, "Hey, do you guys do adult music?" And to a certain degree, what we kind of say is like, we feel like our music is really kind of adult music. It's, our world is sort of where our kids are developmentally, I mean, if they're learning how to ride a bike, I'm helping them along. And
right.
So they're, instead of, I'm not in college and I have a, aspiring to meet a girl or something like that, or, those kind of love songs. It's a different kind of love song. It's more of a parental POV, obviously, but, it's definitely charged with, lyrics that, I remember, Bye Bye Diaper about, potty training, things like that. That was real life, for us.
Right. Well, but I mean, you do have an equal amount of adult fans that, enjoy your work. And I mean, you're absolutely right. There's so many things that creators put in there, even though whatever property it is aimed at kids, so that the adults can join and feel like they're a part of it as well, right?
You do, man. You really have to really kind of make what you create a shared experience, because, obviously when we do concerts and stuff, it's really is a shared experience. We want mom and dad to enjoy the experience just as much as, the 5 or 6 or 7 or 8-year-old who's happens to be just, going bonkers and enjoying what we're doing. Because when they see mom and dad enjoying it, instead of looking at their watch and going, "Oh, when is this going to be over?" it just makes the whole experience almost transcendent. It's such a great way for them to connect as a family, and we're just the soundtrack for it,
Right. No, definitely. Now, you mentioned concert. Of course, last night you were at Family Gras in Metairie playing for the masses out there, but you still have a tour going on right now, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of weekend warrior kind of touring. We will go in a weekend into a city, a market that we haven't played, and so we did Family Gras, which is always an amazing experience. And so we're heading up to Chicago. We're going to be doing some Midwest shows. We really resonate with the East Coast. We do quite a bit of stuff in Jersey and New York and Boston, so we're always somewhere. So if you go and visit us, imaginationmovers.com, you can always see where we're going to be. And if you're a big fan of music in general, and then music that's really kind of for the little ones, but gets them really kind of almost like the first age appropriate Kiss concert or Van Halen concert, then that's what we kind of bring. We're definitely have the theatrics of every rock show you've ever been to, but it's kind of culled down for the little guys.
Right. No, that's cool. Well, of course, one of the things that I'm sure is a big focus of that current concert tour is your latest album called 10-4. Tell me about that.
Well, the funny thing is the name it's kind of literal. It's our 10th album, and there are 4 guys in the band. So it's, we kind of playing off the CB lingo as well. It's really, I think, a testament to the fact that we've been friends for a very long time. We just celebrated our 15th anniversary not too long ago. I think that's what makes us special. I feel personally is that we've been fortunate to have an amazing amount of success, and through it all, we're still thick as thieves. We're still friends, just like we were the day when we started and had nothing. But it's really kind of creating this legacy. I think this latest album, 10-4, is really kind of shows our maturity as far as the music is concerned. We still love playing with genres. So, there's a song, Is That Wrong? That's very kind of Black Keys, Jack White-esque.
All right.
That I think if you start listening to it, you're like, oh, who is this? Oh, wait, it's it's a song about, broccoli, and the dog eating it. This is kind of crazy.
Nice.
But I think there's a lot of good tunes. It was a great experience writing it with the guys because we all share writing credit. And so it's really cool that everybody kind of gets their, puts their thumbprint on it. And really what you see is representative of all the movers.
No, that's great. Now, you're a really busy guy, right? You're still a teacher, and you're doing all the stuff with the Imagination Movers. What are some of the projects that you're working on for the future right now?
Well, with the movers, our motto is to reach high, think big, work hard, and have fun. I think one of those, that idea of thinking big is always propelling us to our next project. We finished the trailer for Super Movers. It's wonderful animated concept. And right now we are talking about, really kind of creating a sort of movie. I mean, that's one of the things we've always wanted to do. We've been kicking around the idea for a long time. We sort of had the idea of what it would be. Of course, a movie for us is really kind of a special. It's more like a 45-minute, 50-minute special. And so, we had meetings in the past with Netflix, and hopefully, you just never know what tomorrow brings. So, but right now, I think the idea is that we'd love to have this kind of really a mover movie.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
Yeah, no, definitely. Now, considering all the stuff that's going on right now with Hollywood South, would you focus on filming down here in South Louisiana?
Definitely. I think, obviously we filmed the show here when we were working with Disney. New Orleans is our home. Louisiana is our home. And so if we were to do anything, it would be here. Definitely. Without a doubt. I mean, and also, we've met so many great people that worked on our show that are still in the business that why wouldn't you go to people that you know and you trust and that create quality stuff? So we definitely do that here.
Fantastic. Well, look, Scott, we are getting kind of close to a commercial break, so do me a favor. Let all of our listeners out there know how they can find out more about you guys and how they can keep up with all the great projects you're working on.
Definitely. You can always go to our website, imaginationmovers.com. It has all the latest news. It has a store if you're interested in any music or, T-shirts. And then also you can like us on Facebook. We do a lot of our kind of breaking news alerts there. Those are the two best ways, is liking us on Facebook, looking up at Imagination Movers, as well as the website.
That's fantastic. Well, Scott, thank you so much for taking the time tonight, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right. Sounds great, my man. I appreciate you letting me be on the Week in Geek.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, hang tight for me. Guys, stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to close out the show as we always do with This Week in Geek History. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
My sister's hair, jumping from the table to the sofa to the chair. My favorite 3 words are, it's not fair. Isn't that wrong? That's wrong.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
This March 8th through the 10th, CoastCon marks its 42nd annual science fiction, fantasy, and gaming convention in Mississippi's Gulf Coast Coliseum in Biloxi. CoastCon is the longest running and largest convention in Mississippi. Enjoy 3 days of gaming, costumes, shopping, and guest panels with such amazing guests like J. Michael Tatum from My Hero Academia and New York Times bestselling author Stephen Brust of the Vlad Taltosh series. For more information, go to coastcon.org or check out their Facebook page. CoastCon, March 8th through 10th. Don't miss it.
Hello, creeps. It's me, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper, and you're listening to The Week in Geek.
Welcome back. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, Steve Squared, along with
Brian Held.
Now, as always, we want to strongly urge you to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio, and the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you miss any part of tonight's show, you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app,
and your mama's house.
There you go.
This week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future! Yes! Oh my God!
This week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Ba-na-na, ba-na-na. I'm waiting for somebody's mom to call us one day, or just somebody else. Dude, why are you talking about my mom, bro? What's up, man? Come on, you want to fight? I'll fight you.
All right, first one out of the gate, you got to guess it, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
February 19th, 1999.
The answer is Prince.
No, we were actually talking about this before the show. It's directed by Mike Judge and starring Ron Livingston, David Herman, Diedrich Bader, and Jennifer Aniston.
Office Space?
Office Space.
Nice.
Yes. So,
man, it feels good to be a gangster.
yeah, 20 years, dude.
Jeez, damn.
I know.
What was the one? Heavyweights. Heavyweights came out 26 years ago.
Oh, God.
You ever used the buddy system? Buddy!
Jeez.
Sorry.
No, it's cool.
It was a fat kid camp movie. I empathized with them.
All right, fair enough.
Yes.
That's cool.
I'm a fat kid. I want to go fast. I ride go-karts.
Oh, geez. Next item on my list is February 20th, 1944. And I guess this is timely because of the old DC issue 1000. The Batman and Robin comic strip by Bob Kane first appears in U.S. newspapers. So,
Bob Kane, who's that?
The original artist for...
No, he's not.
What do you...
Totally not. No, they erased him from the history books, remember?
No.
They hid him under the potted plants.
Right.
Only recently has it come out.
Uh-huh.
He got shafted for how many years? I mean,
well,
years.
All of those old artists, Jack Kirby, all those guys got shafted for a long, long time. It's very sad. All right, next item on my list, February 21st, 1986. Sees the release on the Famicom Disk System in Japan of The Legend of Zelda. Yes. Cartridge version, it had a battery backup memory at the time.
Ooh,
and
that's high technology.
If you remember, there was a second quest. If you finished the first game or you registered your name as Zelda, it would start a more difficult version of the game and change up some of the dungeons and items and things.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
Look at that.
All right.
And now you know.
And no one's half the battle. February 22nd, 1985. You don't have to guess this movie. Terry Gilliam's classic Brazil is released in the United Kingdom. Do you remember that movie?
I remember the name. I don't remember anything about it. What the hell is that?
It's this very odd, dystopian, sort of Orwellian type of movie about a guy who's just a cog in the system. It's very weird.
It's
and
like
strange.
a Woody Allen film.
No, it's Terry Gilliam, right? I mean, he's pretty odd bird, but I think that our crowd likes that kind of stuff. So
okay,
yeah, there
good
you go.
on you, crowd.
Oh, jeez. Here's a really old one, February 23rd, 1455.
The abacus is born.
No, it's the traditional date for the publication of the Gutenberg Bible. The first Western book printed with movable type.
Nice.
So, yeah, they made little lead, letters and stuck them in the machine. And
so is that the first version of like
reboots?
Is that what it was? Like hey, you hand wrote this book. We got a type machine that's going to make it even better.
Well,
blow your stuff up.
I mean, it did reduce the cost of books. It allowed more people to get books in their hands. You know what I'm saying?
And that was the downfall. You don't teach the peons to read. You know? Nope. And the peasants are revolting.
Yes, they are.
They stink on ice.
Oh, jeez. All right. Last item on my list is another old one. February 24th, 1786.
The Abacus 2.0 is released.
No. Writer and linguist Wilhelm Karl Grimm is born in Hanau, Germany. He and his older brother, of course, Jacob, were the first to collect, write down, and publish such
Grimm's
classics.
Tales?
Yes, Rapunzel, Snow White, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty. So Grimm's fairy tales, yeah.
Nice. I've zoned out once you said he was a cunning linguist.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, but only to get ripped off years later by Disney, right?
Look, that the movie that they made with the Joker who's dead. God.
Oh, Heath Ledger?
Heath Ledger.
Yes.
He did one, and I forgot who the other guy was in it. But that was actually a pretty fun movie because the Grimm brothers were like a bunch of con artists. They used their stories and tried to make them come to life. And they would go out. They were like the Ghostbusters, but they created the fake ghosts and would bust them. But then they met a real witch. And things went awry.
Yeah.
Tune in next time for the Grimm's brothers.
All right, are you ready for some birthdays?
Sure.
All right, on the 19th, Benicio del Toro. He was in Snatch. He was the collector in the Avengers.
You open up with Snatch?
Yeah. Sin City. He was also in Star Wars The Last Jedi.
No, he's a...
Right.
I did not like his character all that much. It seems like they always got to have some stupid ass quirky thing to separate them. So it's like,
right.
I mean, who does that? It's like Tommy two times, get the papers.
Right.
It's like they got to come up with something. It's like, just read your damn lines, rat out the rebellion and go take your blood money somewhere else.
All right, fair enough. All right.
You think he's going to show up again in this next movie?
I don't know. We'll see. The end of the year. On the 20th, David Herman. He was in, of course, Office Space.
Okay, which one is that?
The guy who...
Michael Bolton?
No. Yeah, it was Michael
Michael Bolton?
Yeah, it is Michael Bolton, yeah.
I didn't know he had a name.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
On the 21st, Anthony Daniels, of course, C-3PO.
C-3PO,
Yes.
yay.
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk.
You beat me to it.
Yeah. On the
I don't know. You're the ones who've met all those Star Wars celebs.
Yeah, no, I did meet him. On the 22nd, Jerry Ryan.
Oh my God, 7 of 9.
7 of 9.
I have cable, and I have way too many damn cable channels. Plus, I've got Netflix, and I've got Amazon, and everything else. But I still go to 134 on Cox, which is Heroes and Icons. It's just kind of like the ghetto version of regular TV, and it plays nothing but Star Trek. And so it plays Star Trek and Next Gen and Voyager and everything else. And I watch that. I spend hundreds of dollars a month to watch old Star Trek episodes on
that you can probably get on an antenna, right?
Absolutely,
yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I'm not a smart man.
On the 23rd, Emily Blunt. Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she just played Mary Poppins, actually.
Not my Mary Poppins.
Fair enough. And
mine's blue.
On the 24th, former guest of the show, Edward James Olmos.
Yeah, so say we all.
Yes, that was a great interview.
It was. I don't even remember it anymore. We got to go back and listen to it.
We do. All right. Next week, our guest is going to be Jenna Glass. She is the author of The Women's War, and so that'll be interesting. Looking forward to it. Yes.
Alrighty.
And we will be prepping for CoastCon March 8th through the 10th. So it's going to be, it's 2 weeks from now.
It's going to be a hoot and a nanny.
Absolutely.
Nanny. Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
Walton and Johnson, making mornings great on News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM, New Orleans. An iHeart radio station.